Black Label. Johnnie Walker Black Label Blended Scotch. This bad mamma jamma has been known to show his face at just about every party on the block. But should this guy show up for a night of elegant nosing and tasting? Well, stay tuned because I'm about to smell this, taste this, and tell you whether you should leave this bottle alone or head to the store and go get one right now. Welcome back to, this isn't actually the doctor's office, this is my cousin's house.
Came for a home visit.
So we've got a famous guest in the building today.
Thanks,
As I
Rat.
mentioned earlier, is this bottle worth your time? What were you saying, Brandon? Black Label reminds me of parties, maybe some rappers. And I'm not hating on rappers, but I don't think that rappers are nosing and tasting this. I'm pretty sure they're getting nice and crunk. Is that a word? Do they use crunk anymore, or was that like a Little John thing from when we were in high school?
I don't like to put a label on anything, Dave.
Remember, if you guys like this video, don't forget to share it with your friends on social media. Give it a big old thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Now, Brandon, do you know anything much about Johnnie Walker?
No.
Black Label is, like all the other Johnnie Walkers that I'm familiar with, is 40% alcohol by volume. It is chill filtered, so it's heavily filtered, and also there is colorant added. So this nice, beautiful, dark brown, this looks like you're getting from a nice dark cask. That's some color added to it, unfortunately. So this is a blended scotch, different than a single malt.
What does blended mean, Dave?
Blended malt means that it has come from more than one distillery. What they do is they buy whiskey from other companies, and most of it is owned by their own companies. Johnnie Walker is owned by Diageo, who owns Lagavulin, who owns Caol Ila, who owns Talisker, who owns Smirnoff, who owns Bailey's. The list goes on.
It's interesting.
So these guys have access to a lot of different whiskeys that they can blend. Caol Ila is actually one of the blends that gives Johnnie Walker its smoky flavor. Brandon, what are you noticing on this? Because I have a word that as soon as I smelt this, before I even hit the record button earlier, I just took a whiff of this earlier.
I smell alcohol.
I noticed burnt toffee. It's important when you're nosing whiskey. I try to keep my mouth open slightly. Breathe in. I don't know the exact number, but breathe in slightly with the nose, or breathe in mostly with the nose, and let a little bit of air come in through the mouth.
Yeah. Burnt toffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, holy crap. Yeah.
A fifth of this out the door almost costs $45 in the state of Michigan. Some states it's going to be a little bit more. For a fifth of it. Yep.
Really?
Yep. And the price, actually, Diageo increased a number of their prices by a couple of dollars or more.
And red is cheaper.
Red is...
Or more expensive.
No, red is about $20-some out the door.
So red's
it's a
the cheaper
non-age
one.
statement. I can't believe how much toffee I'm getting off of this nose.
That's weird. Now that you, like... You know, I don't want it to be like a placebo, like you said, burnt toffee. Now I'm just like agreeing with him, like, yeah, he's the man. So I'm like, oh yeah, I smell burnt. But really, I do smell burnt toffee. I really do.
A little bit of caramel, but it's almost this chocolate, not a dark chocolate by any means. We're talking a synthetic, sweetened, high fructose type chocolate.
Just sounds bad for you, you know?
Yeah. It's quite singular. It's not. There's not a whole lot of stuff going on. It's not roses and chocolate and cherries. It's kind of sweet. There's a little bit of char. I'm not getting much charred smokiness. Oddly enough, off the nose, because there is some smoky whiskeys in this.
It's like you said. It smells something's burned.
Yep, a little burnt. Yeah.
But not like smoky. It's not smoky. It's just something smells charred.
Almost like I don't want it to be a negative thing, but it almost is. Almost like rubber burn.
Yes.
Almost like mechanical, kind of like you're at a shop and some machine is starting to wear a belt out.
Yep. Spot on.
Yep. We need to try this neat without any water.
No water.
Slanjeva.
I tell you what. I have just drank a couple different whiskeys in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And
Let's hear it. Are you going to say this is the worst one?
yes.
Yep. We just drank 2 bottles of whiskey that cost $10 per fifth less. And I would never drink this before those.
Here's the problem. So this tastes like something that I would drink that if I was at a party and wanted to not spend a lot of money and just wanted to get drunk. But it's more expensive than the fifth that I just bought,
Unfortunately.
which is better. Okay, so I'm a big vodka guy, right? So I really like Tito's, Grey Goose, Ketel One's pretty good. I don't mean to compare Johnny Walker to Pop Off, but because it's not, it's completely different. But watered down alcohol is what I taste in this.
Yep.
I'm not trying to give a bad review because I've drank Johnny Walker before and I thought it was good.
Yep.
But
I think that's the problem is that, and it's unfortunate because I think a lot of people, and I am so in this category, when I first started drinking whiskey back when I hit 21, I walked into the store and I thought Johnny Walker Black was like the top of the top. I thought like you weren't going to, like, I didn't know people were spending hundreds of dollars on bottles. And so I feel like people see this on the shelf and they go, a 12-year-old whiskey, wow, that was aged for 12 years, it must be good, and it's 40-some dollars. I've never spent 40-some dollars on a bottle.
Right.
Tasting this, if you taste this bottle and you don't drink other whiskeys, I wouldn't be surprised if you don't like Scotch whiskey. If this is the only bottle that you're going to try is a Johnny Walker Black, and please do not take me wrong saying that you shouldn't buy this. It's neat enough to, it's interesting enough to drink. And I think, Brandon, once we add a little water to this, it's going to open this up. It's going to change this a little bit. So I think we need to get a little water in this. And I don't want to say too much more, but people that are drinking this straight, just taking a pull right out of the bottle or taking shots of it,
yeah,
it's an alcoholic experience.
And I'm not saying it's bad. Like, I'm not saying, oh my God, this is that's where I'm wrong. I was not comparing this to Pop Off because it's not. It's, I mean, Pop Off is.
But
Pop
the fact
Off.
that you went to Pop Off, it must.
I can just taste that. I can taste that watered down alcoholiness. That's what I can just taste it. You know,
You want to add a little?
Yeah. If you say
You don't
it's.
want to add too much, but yeah, because we've already drank quite a bit. But a little strolly, as Ralphie would say, a little strolly poly, roly strolly.
Ralphie
He says
who?
something like that. Ralphie? Ralph Mitchell?
From what?
From Ralphie.com. This is a Scottish man who lives on the Isle of Man who reviews whiskey bottle.
Lagavulin was the one we.
Lagavulin.
Lagavulin. I never could say it.
Lagavulin.
La
Yeah.
la la la. Lagavulin.
That was like the bottle that kind of turned you into saying, I don't mind Scotch.
Yeah. Well,
But it also costs $110.
that was the problem. You know, I mean, we were younger. We couldn't afford to go to the store.
We still shouldn't pay that much money. I still think if you have to pay over $100 and some for a standard, for their very entry level bottle of Scotch, I know they have some cheaper versions, but 16 is like the bottle that everybody says that's where you need to go to. Doesn't that taste better with a
Water
little
helped. Water helped a lot.
It needs water, and not a whole lot. You saw it just going, doo, 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 doo. But
The water helped a lot. It brought a lot of flavor.
yeah. So that toffee
I would
that
no
I was
longer.
smelling on the nose, I don't notice that burnt toffee like I did earlier, but I'm actually starting to notice some cask influence from it.
Yeah, I don't taste that watered down effect anymore.
Isn't that odd?
Yeah, that's odd.
I don't know if I don't think I've tasted it yet.
Like, that's a lot better. That adding a couple drops of water compares somewhat to what we had in the kitchen.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that
Very
so weird?
But here's my issue with if I was ever at, and I would buy this if I was ever like, hey, nah, it's a lie.
What?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't buy it?
If I could go to the store and buy a fifth that I have out there, which is aged 4 years as compared to a 12 of this for $10 cheaper, I would not buy that.
I mean, I'm pretty close to the same level. I feel like it's really weird because I think after drinking a couple of American bourbons today, this thing just got kind of beat up a little bit.
I think it's a little biased. You had a whiskey prior, and now that you've had a whiskey that you're like, oh my God, this is amazing, then you're going to try this and go...
I agree with you. You're right. But also the fact that we spent, I spent $10 less. No, 15.
Ah.
I spent $15 less on a bottle that I would rate this probably 4 points higher. I would rate a $15 less bottle 4 or 5 points higher than what I'm about to rate this. A script score, I'm going to go ahead and give this 83 out of 100.
I'd agree with that.
I don't think
100%
it
agree with
I don't think it deserves much better. I'm pretty sure I gave the Red Label a 78 out of 100, something like that, because for $20, $22, $23 out the door, Red Label, I'm surprised, honestly. I would probably buy Red Label before I buy Black Label. I'm going to probably get a bunch of flack on this, guys. I'm probably going to have a lot of people like, oh, Black Label, it's no comparison. I've generally only capped a buzz from Johnnie Walker Black. That's why the last time my friend here, Brandon, the last time he drank this, we were already drunk. We were out of Lagavulin 16.
So I was showing you like a freaking headlock. As soon as I cinched it, I'm just showing you. As soon as I cinched it, you were so drunk, you were just like, and you like whipped me. And I was not ready for it.
Oh, I threw you.
Yeah, my face hit that floor so fast, so hard. I had remember that big mark?
Don't throw me in a rear naked chokehold.
Well, you just drove me straight into the ground.
There's not a real good chance that I'll end up buying Black Label again for a while.
I probably will never buy it ever.
So my next video, I'm going to be continuing on the Johnnie Walker blended line. And the next bottle I'm going to be reviewing is actually the Brother, which is a non-age statement, very similar version of this called the Double Black. Apparently supposed to be a smokier, heavier charred cask whiskey. More whiskeys from Iowa, kind of like those peatier whiskeys. If you guys like this video, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And like I said, share it with your friends.
You ever woke up on Saturday morning and your cartoons weren't on? You ever wake up and your dad's gone? That's a disappointment you're thinking about when you don't like or subscribe.
That's right.